The other day, I answered 5 of the most common questions that you all ask me about learning English. And today, I'm answering 5 more. Question 1. How do you learn prepositions? Read and listen to English every day. If you do this, you will see and hear them used correctly again and again, and you will remember them. In my opinion, people waste a lot of time learning rules, like this is why we use at, this is why we use in, this is why we use for, this is why we use to. And I understand that for some people, that might be useful. But I think that for most of you, it's not necessary to do that. When you hear a preposition being used, write it down, and then try to write a few sentences with it, and then review those in the future. For example, maybe you hear someone say, in the car. Write that down, and then write a few sentences with it. For example, we were in the car. Were you in the car? I left my phone in the car. Each day, review the sentences that you wrote earlier in the week or earlier in the month. And if you want to practice speaking also, say them out loud. Question 2. Do I need to learn all 12 tenses? Well, we use all of them, so if you want to understand everything that people say, then yes, you need to learn all of them. But don't get stressed out worrying about how many there are or feeling like you need to learn all of them right now. Just keep reading and listening to English every day, and you will see and hear each of the tenses again and again in real-life situations, and this will help you remember how and why we use them. Question 3. How can I learn to think in English? Learning to think in English is actually pretty simple. Start by just learning some basic words, basic phrases, and basic sentences. Anytime that you know that you are about to speak with someone, think about the word, phrase, or sentence that you are going to use and repeat it in your head again and again. And start with simple things that you already know are correct. If you know that in a minute or two you are going to meet a new person and you want to ask them where they are from, repeat the question, where are you from? Where are you from? In your head again and again to make sure that you can remember it and you are comfortable with it. So your goal here isn't really to think in English. Your goal is just to prepare yourself for speaking, to make sure that you are comfortable with the language that you are about to use. But as a result of this, over time, you will begin to think in English. This seems really basic to me, and I used to think that everybody did this. But from my experiences as a teacher, I have learned that there are many people who do not do this. Question 4. No one around me speaks English. How can I practice speaking? Here are my 3 main pieces of advice. 1. Start an English club with friends, family, neighbors, and coworkers. You meet maybe 1 to 3 times per week, and you just hang out and do normal stuff together, but you're only allowed to speak English. 2. Practice speaking without a partner. You don't need a partner to practice speaking. And when you practice speaking without a partner, you can do it whenever you want, for as long or as short as you want. And there's no pressure, there's no stress, because it's just you. If you're not sure how to practice speaking without a partner, please watch my video, 10 Ways to Practice Speaking English. 3. Join my Find English Partners Facebook group. As of December 2022, this group has about 100,000 people in it who are all looking for other learners to practice speaking with. Question 5. How long does it take to learn English? That's like asking, how long is a piece of string? There isn't one good answer. Only you can decide how quickly your English is going to improve. For most people, it's probably going to take about 3 to 10 years for your English to get to an intermediate or advanced level. And then you're going to spend the rest of your life learning new vocabulary and making small improvements to your grammar and pronunciation. However, if you need to get really good at English really fast, it is possible. I have seen an absolute beginner who only knew how to say hello become the most advanced student in a language school with 200 students, and she did that in just 9 or 10 months. So, how did she do that? First, she attended classes, 30 to 40 hours each week, repeating the same lessons again and again. When she wasn't in class, her sister pretended that they couldn't speak Chinese, so even when she wasn't in class, she had to use English all the time, even when her English was still at a very low level. So if you do something like that, yeah, you can get really good at English in just 1 year. However, most of us do not have the time, energy, or motivation to do that. It's not easy. So if you don't have lots of free time to spend studying every day, just relax. Do what you can and stop worrying about when you will be done. And remember, you never finish learning a language. There is always more to learn.